Well, hello, welcome back. As you can see, we are on Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. I'm Claire, this is Purple Poppy, welcome back. So, this week is nature or botanical. I'm thinking this is the square that or rectangle, this is the cavity that I'm going to use. So the first thing we need to do is measure this and move my coffee before I chuck it all over the floor. So, right, this is 6 3/4 by 1 blip over 3 3/4. So let's get that out of the way because it does sort of fill up the table, doesn't it? I'm going to start with the calico background. So let's measure this. We've got an odd bit here that's definitely going to be big enough. So if I go down 3 3/4 plus 1 blip, and I do a snip, can pull that off, and then that's something else that can come off the desk. I love getting stuff off the desk. Now, was it 7? Oh, I've forgotten. You see, taking it off the desk is not always a good idea. Was it 7? 6 3/4. Okay, so 6 and 3/4. There we go. Save that for another day. So before we go any further and we put a lot of investment into this, let's just make sure, you know, that it fits. Right, now as you can see, it's great lengthwise, but height wise it's a little bit off. I'm thinking we'll put a fold in that, a little fingernail fold, and then we can trim that bit again. Nice stringy bit there to use for something. So how are you all? What have you been up to? What are your thoughts for this prompt? Have you already decided? You've already done it. Perfect. That's going to fit in there. Lovely. Okay, we can really now move this box. Now my thoughts were that I would have a multi-pattern background. So I've got this fantastic red and white fabric. I'm sure you've seen this before, maybe not in this project, but in, oh yes, because I use a squirrel in Stitch the Season. I'm wondering if that rabbit, I think we might just get that rabbit in there. So I'm going to fussy cut him out. Well, not fussy cut, but I'm going to trim him out. A little bit further. And then I'm going to cut down there, or tear down there, and you can see where we are. Right, so that's that one done. So what I thought was, if we put Bunny on the end there, like that, we are going to lose his ears, but sorry Mr. Bunny. Then what I want to do is maybe put a piece of that there, a piece of that maybe there, this piece that I stamped maybe that piece go under there. Sorry, you can hear hubby on the phone, can't you? He's obviously working, but I don't think there's anything truly secretive, so, and then maybe a piece of that on there. So that's my plan for my background. So should we do this then? So we're going to trim this there. And about there. I did even think about putting some paper on this and making it a bit more sort of mixed media. I'll put bunny on top, I think. So that one's going underneath. This one is this beautiful vintage gingham. You can tell I've got modern, oh goodness me, modern gingham, and you can tell that it's just a different fabric completely, and you can't tear gingham for some reason. I'm sure it's because of all the cross plies that are in it. It doesn't want to tear. So then I'm going to put that one on there like that. We're going to chop this more than half. I'm going to put it that way, and I'm going to trim it about there. So that'll be that piece like that. Actually, I'm going to put it slightly more over there. You can still see bunny. In fact, it's probably a hair, but... And that's going to be my background piece, and then I'm going to stitch over the top. So I'm just going to flip it over so we can work out how much of bunny we need to lose. So I figure this fabric is giving me a nature element sitting there like that. I've got a nature element with bunny. And then what I thought I would do is I would use a series, oh that's interesting, we have to work that out, a series of flowers. So we might actually not see that, hang on. So I've got a small doily there, and then I'm going to trim out some of these little circle pieces, probably two. Except I can't get my fingers to work. And again, I'm sorry about the building noise next door. So then we'll have, say, one there. And I'm going to make a Suffolk puff with that to give me another little flower. And then I thought this Battenberg lace, this would make some fantastic leaves. So if I trim down there and across there, so that we've got three, that could be our leaves. And then our little flowers, and we've got obviously the Suffolk puff or the yo-yo, whatever, to go there. And then I've got a different flower again in this dress. You've seen this dress so many times. And I can use this half one at the end, can't I? Which you can't always do, because it's going to be tucked underneath. I know you can probably work out that Holly's talking about a court case, but I can assure you it's not a problem. Nothing is being actually divulged. Now, we're not actually seeing this red piece, are we? Or really that, but it's a bit like when you do paper crafts. It's got to be there to build up the layers. I'm not even sure where the Suffolk puff goes now. And I think we're losing too much bunny. So, I think we're going to take bunny out of there and we're going to put the gingham on that side, like so. We'll put bunny on this side where we are going to see more of him. So, that's fine. And then that will go that way. And then we get our flowers this side. That makes me happier. You've got to remember, obviously, we can't go over the edge. So that will go there. That will go there like that. We're going to put that little one there. And I'm going to get a Suffolk puff one as well. Want it fairly small. So I must make sure I don't draw around anything too big for my circle. And remembering they end up about half the size. So I think that'll be perfect. So we're going to do it out of this beige. I'll pop that right on the corner. You all know how to do this anyway. And there's my friction pen doing me a circle. Oh, that's someone at the door. Just 1 second. Sorry, I'm back. I was drawing my circle, wasn't I? Whoops. I just need to finish this little bit. Okay, that's all good, I believe. So, I bought green thread. I didn't know if I was going to need to do leaves, but I don't think I am. We haven't got the height, have we? So, just going to trim this round, and I'll get a needle and thread and see what we can do about sewing this in place. And I'm conscious that my cavities are getting more and more filled with what appears to be sort of a form of art rather than stitching, which I'm not disappointed about and I'm not going to change, but I do find it very interesting that that's the way it seems to go. So just going to quickly round the edge of this with a running stitch, just in case anyone's not done these before, you're not 100% sure. A lot of people do turn them over. They do like a, what's it called, a needle turn. I tend not to do that. I just run all the way around the edge, trying to keep the same distance from the edge. My stitches are never the same size, but I've got to admit I don't worry as much about that as I do about where they are on, you know, the away from the edge, because that's the important bit. So, and I always stitch from the wrong side. I think most people do. I'm not 100% sure. Right, and then just poke your finger in there, put it nice and tight, like so, and then I tend to pull it back out a bit so that I get that little hole in the middle and I get it circular-ish and how I want it to look. And then once I'm happy, I just put a couple of little stitches in to hold it at that point so that it doesn't move again. And then having done that, just pull that through there and make sure that that's all good before we tie a knot. This thread's really too short, as you can see, so I'm just going to pull it tight a minute while I do that, and then I'm just going to pull it back out. There we go. So I'm going to trim that off, and that one could sit, actually, as it's got a bit of a flat bottom there, that could sit there, and then that one can sit there. So that's what my square is going to look like. So now we need to set about stitching it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just invisible stitch it all the way around, having used a little bit of glue stick to hold it in place. So just a little bit there, a little bit there, a bit on those tips. I just find that once you positioned it, you start picking it up, obviously it all falls out of place. You can use pins, obviously. Traditional sewers use pins. I've got loads of pins, as you know, but I'd rather do this, and I can, so I'm gonna, basically. And I'm sure all the real stitchers out there are, oh my goodness, what are you doing, woman? But you know what? I don't rightly care. See, except now I've stuck it in the wrong place, and it's harder to move that than if it had been pinned. It's got to go on the bottom, hasn't it? Like that. Then this one, it's got that flat bottom, so that's going to fit on there. And then this one, I'm going to glue the actual thing. And that's going to go like that. So I'm going to do that with white cotton and an invisible stitch all the way round. You can sit and stitch with me if you want to. And then I can decorate with some buttons and some beads and make it a bit more fanciful. So I'll go back to the needle we just had. So what are you all up to? I did make a star on my Christmas heart dangle. If you remember, I told you last week that I wanted to do 3 stuffed hearts, scrappy hearts, all the little bits and pieces, on strings, 3 different sizes, stuffed on a string like a Christmas decoration. I'm doing them in red and lace. I haven't 100% decided yet whether to make them truly Christmas or whether to just go with, you know, the red and the lace. We'll see. So I'm just now going to do invisible stitches. That's where you do the tiny stitch on the top and the big stitch on the back. It's almost the reverse of the old tacking stitch that we used to do, where you had a giant stitch on the front and a small stitch on the back, because once you'd finished you were going to take the stitch out. Whereas of course now the modern way is to leave the stitch in there, which means we need the big stitch at the back, and that's how it's invisible. Trying to make sure that I use the white spaces for my stitches, because obviously the white will really show up on the red, and then it's not going to be very invisible, is it? So there you go. Oops, stabbed myself. Doesn't help that I'm blind as a bat, as I keep telling you. Got glue on my finger. Right. So now I'm going to stitch. Oh, boom! Mummy's doing a video. And all the way round, like the edge, so it's stitched down. I'm not overly worried if it's on the edge. I just want to make sure that each piece has been caught. So like here, I'm now going to go up and into that leaf. Just want to make sure that every piece is caught down properly. And then I'm coming into the puff, back down, another big stitch across the back into that puff. I don't think, where is my box? Yeah, I don't think, I haven't got any Suffolk puffs in there, so this is quite nice, especially as I love a Suffolk puff. Loose thread there, get rid of that. And now obviously we are going through this doily. Right, we've got some quiet now, hubby's off the phone. So we've come all the way across now, we're into our leaf. Pull that thread. Obviously this is been coffee dyed, so it's very dark, so I need to make sure I've got super little stitches in this one, because that white will show up very obvious if we get a big stitch. What is going on with this thread, Claire? That's better. There we go. Then I'm going to scoot into that white hole there, because I know that's a safe space, as it were. And back into the leaf. Wish I had some exciting stories to tell you while I was stitching, but I'm afraid I haven't. So I suppose this is the time to put some music on or something. Plug your earphones in, listen to your favourite music, or if you turn me up really loud, you could have the peaceful sound of Boo's snoring, because she's lying on the sofa next to me snoring. There is a rather annoying dog barking at the back though, so if you turn it up loud you might get deafened by that, so maybe not. See, my thread is now getting a bit, see, being from the brigade, goodness me, I can't get my words out today, of long thread stitches, you do get these little annoyances. So we know that this and this and this and this and this and this is all stitched now. Maybe not thoroughly, but it, oh, I don't want that red square, do I? I want a safe white one. There we go. And then I'm going to come back up there and down and get this leaf like so. Then I'm going to feed down on an angle there and get that one. And then come all the way down into that leaf there. Okay, so now we're sewing that stamped fabric down as well as the leaf. And then we'll just, I'm going to have to stop there because that's where the thread ends. And then you can see on the back I'll show you, hang on. You can see on the back where we went along there all the way round, yeah? So just get another bit. Anybody else following the little snippets by Jennifer Colston? I'll be honest, I've not started yet. I've watched all the videos, but I've made no attempt to start. What with Stitch the Season and Roxy's Journal Stitchery and my Christmas Hearts, all of my stitching hours, because obviously I'm doing all my paper stuff as well, all my stitching hours are taken up. But hubby is back round at my daughter's this weekend, so I'm going to try and get it started while he's round there. And obviously this is Sunday stitching, but as always I'm filming ahead. It's actually only Friday, so which is why I'm saying about this weekend. Just confirm that to you, that you're not going balmy. The YouTube video world can be a little bit confusing because we often, you know, record ahead and then we refer to things that aren't relevant, i.e. the weather today, or you know, what's going to happen at the weekend. And yet in fact the weather today was 3 days ago or whatever, sometimes more. So right, so we haven't put the little one on yet, but he's still hanging there for dear life because of that little bit of glue, which is awesome. So you just come back down here. I feel like I got cold. I woke up this morning early, I'm always up early, you know that, and I was coughing and sneezing. Now the cough seems to have gone, but I feel like I've got a sore throat. So I'm thinking, oh poop, I've probably caught cold from the children because I was with both my daughters on Monday. So of course they carry any germ that the children have got, and of course they're all back at school now, aren't they? And then I was with my youngest granddaughter day before yesterday, and then yesterday I was with the other two because I had to do the school pick up. So yeah, I'm thinking one of the little treasures has very probably given me a cold. And I was thinking about this because obviously, although this is the prompt, what about this is precious? You know, where's the treasure in this? Well, for me, there's actually two pieces. One is this doily, because this was actually made by my friend Denise, because she is a fab crochet lady, whereas I can do like granny squares. So that's precious because it was made by her. And also this tablecloth came from a very dear friend when her mum died. It was actually her mum's. So it's very precious. Two pieces. So that makes sense to be in here. So there you go. We have stitched it all down now. And now we can come along and prettify it. So what are we going to do? Well, let's have a little look. We need flower centres for a start, don't we? So I'm guessing they're probably buttons, or actually, could they be beads? Now, what did I do? Right, so I've got these little tiny gold seed beads from my other friend, the lovely Helen. And I've got these little tiny red beads, also from my lovely friend Helen. But the holes in them are so small, I don't think I'm going to be able to use that with that needle. And then, here we go, where's my bag of pearls? So, if we put a little button in there, like that, we could put a bunch of those in there. We need something slightly bigger for there. Where did I put those pearls that I had a bag of pearl beads, but actually I've got some more broken jewellery here. Is there anything in here? Well, in fact, what is this? No, they're blue. I want cream or white, really, don't I? No, that's two bigger bits of broken jewellery. I don't know where the bag of pearls has vanished to, which is a bit annoying. But what have I got in? Right, in this one. Can we find one? See, because there are little tiny ones over this side. Now that too big. You know what? That's the easiest way, isn't it? That one's too big. I don't know if I can get a needle through there, but that's super special, isn't it? That one. That one's actually a heart shape. I'm wondering, how big are these holes? Can I by any chance get this needle? I can't even. Here's the hole. Oh, come on, Claire. There's the hole. But there's no way it's going on that needle. What about this pearly one here? Yes, that one works. Right. And that's another one of them, isn't it? So that one works. I've actually pulled the thread out. That's okay. So that's these, isn't it? Whoops! One on the floor. No, I caught it. Oh dear. Right, so I want 5 or 6 of these, don't I? Oh. Is that going to go through? Oh, come on. I've got it stuck on the needle now, haven't I? Right, let's try and do it from the other side. It's amazing when you've got these beads, which mostly from broken jewellery are produced quite cheaply. No, I really have got it stuck. So that one we'll put up there in the bin because that one's not going to work. The holes are not even, so sometimes you can really struggle because the needle will go in one side but not the other, like here. Yeah, this is the same as the other one. Okay, so that's not going to work. And usually I spend ages doing this, trying to... That one definitely works. So we could mix them up. Yep. So we've got 1, 2, 1, 2. 3. 4. Oh, this is working, isn't it? 5. So we only want one of them. For the centre. We need one more. Come on, there must be one more in here, surely. There it is. Oh, dropped it. Come here, you naughty bead. Six. Perfect. So we have got more than enough. Let's put that on the floor before I knock it over. Let's get rid of this. Gives us a bit of space. We don't need that purple. Where's our white cotton gone? Here. We need to pull that out of there because that's the old cotton that it was sewed. I think these are, whoops, these were off the duvet, weren't they? So that one's going to go there. That one go there. Much too big. We're going to put the little gold ones there. Right, let's go. Let's stitch some beadwork on here. And this is obviously just standard sewing cotton. I'm not using any embroidery thread at this stage. I don't know if I will. because of the way this project's gone. Right, so I don't want to lose them. Don't all go rolling away from me. Let's do the button first, because that makes sense to me. That's where I believe we want it. Maybe over there a little bit, like that. I'm so sorry. There's been a lot of background noise today. But I suppose, you know, there is a life outside YouTube. People have to do what they have to do. Although, to be honest, this is obviously a really major job, because whatever it is, he's been doing it for about 6 months. But then I can't help thinking, the reason it's taking 6 months is because he only ever does it when I'm videoing. It's like he knows. No, he only ever does like 2 hours, and then he stops and goes off out somewhere. Very weird. Right, so that's our button in the centre of that flower. We just tie that off like so. That's that one. And then I'm going to do the centre of the little one here, and I'm going to do this with gold beads. Let's see how many we can get in here. I'm guessing about 5. Actually, I need to speak to Helen and find out where she got these, because I love them, and as you can see, I've used nearly the whole box, so I need to get some more. So I always try and stitch it in. Itself and then go again, rather than doing a string. It's just the way I do it. I mean, you could presumably do an entire string. Oh, sounds like the postman's coming down the road. So that'll be Boo barking again in a minute. Well, I say again, she hasn't barked, has she? I think she had a little grunt, but shall I just turn you off a second to be safe? Okay, I'm back again. So while I was waiting for the postman to get past the house, I just finished doing the little gold centre to that doily flower there. And now what I'm going to do is put these other ones on the big doily. Well, it's hardly big, but bigger. So I'm going to start there, just past the magic ring, as they call it, or magic circle, and I'm going to work my way around this edge here like this, and hope that I've picked out enough so I don't have to go rummaging back in the tin lid. You'll probably lose the will to live by then, won't you? Got a knot, of course, again. Oh, ridiculous. There we go. Just making a little circle, really, within the middle there. I think it's going to be 5 round the outside and then like 1 in the centre. Yeah, that was my plan-ish when I was counting them. You know how much of a plan I generally have. Just going to do a fixing stitch there because I want to make sure they don't move. Right, so I'm going to put 1 here. Whoops. And then, whoa, come back, come back, come back. Jack, come back. Sorry. But I doubt there's anyone who doesn't know to what I was referring. Honestly, we're dreadful here. We live in filmland, you know. Situations like that. Right, what I need to decide now is, am I going to put the 6th one in the centre like that? Yeah, I was going to say, or am I going to add in that one gold one? But no, I think that works very well. So just tie this off and then we'll have another little look at it. And I've got to be honest and say I've got no idea how long I've been here. Oh, I think it looks lovely. We've got 4 flowers and some leaves and a bunny from nature. So we've got botanical and nature. Oh, that's annoying. Look at that. I'm going to have to trim that off because I'm not looking at that. There we go. So that's that. Where's my needle gone? That's all knotted up. So I'm going to seal that off and put those 2 little beads on top of that lace so they don't run away. Do I want to do any more stitching? I don't think I do. I think this is ready to go in. So, find my tray. Here we go. Find some fabric glue. Like that. Find a paintbrush, spread it all around. Like that. Stick that in the bin there. I can wash that out in a minute. And then we're going to pop this in like There you go. There's that one. As always, I'd like to say a huge thank you for you spending time with me today. I hope you found some joy and inspiration. Stay safe. I'll be back very soon. Ta-ta for now.